What's good, everybody? Welcome to Stupid Computer Monday here on Disruption Network. No, actually, it's a local music Monday, but I'm having some technical difficulties. I don't think I'm magnetized today. I don't know. The computer does not want to work for me, so if this thing cuts out at any point, at any time, it's my fault. I don't know. It's the computer's fault. Shout out to my sponsors, EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his crew, 315-335-0516. There's no task they can't handle. They give you free boxes. They pack them up, and they bring those boxes wherever they need to go. Tell them Uncle Z sent you, EJAMoving.com. Shout out to my attorney, Dave Longaretta. Give him a call today if you need legal advice, 315-735-6162. Big ups to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, and my good friend over at Joey's 307, Matt Grabsky. He's an absolute genius in the kitchen. You guys should go check him out. Joey's at 307 doing an amazing thing, bringing back the old school East Utica Italian dishes, mixed in with some new cuisine. They got seafood dishes and a revolving dinner menu. And they also have lunch, a tremendous lunch, too. So go check them out. Joey's at 307. It is Local Music Monday. Unfortunately, my partner is not available today. Justin Smith said, we miss you, brother. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. But today, Local Music Monday, we're doing something new today. And I got my good friend Nick Vanderwood in the studio, and he's going to perform live for us. He's got a couple tunes for us. And there's my boy Nick. What up, brother? Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going, Z?
Good to see you.
Got the reverb on.
Yeah, I got the reverb on here. I'm having technical difficulties today, as you've seen me freak out.
It's all right. It happens all the time. It's just.
I'm sorry you
had
to see that, dude.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine. I've had the same, nervous breakdowns in front of your computer. It's normal. It's a given.
Yeah, shit happens, man. Sometimes these computers, they want to work. They have the mind of their own.
They do. They just like, oh, you know what? At this time, what's not work?
Right. And it's usually right when it's go time.
Yep.
That's usually when it happens.
Yep.
So Nick is in the house. Nick, you can find him in a band called Trampoline Jetstream, one of my favorite local bands that you could check out. And we're going to talk a little bit about Tramp Jet in a little while. But this afternoon, you're going to perform for us. Play a couple songs, man.
I got a couple.
So what do you got for us? What's this one? What are you going to do for us?
Well, the band, we've been performing a lot recently. We're practicing for the studio, which will be in next week at Big Blue North. So I figured I'd keep that going, and I'll play a couple songs from the album.
Cool.
So it'll be kind of fun. I'll go for it.
All right, do it up, brother.
All right. By the way, I want to say thank you for having me on.
Oh, of course, bro. I love you. You know that.
All right. You got that reverb by chance?
I'm sorry. There you go.
There we go.
Yo, man, you got that reverb, man?
You got the cathedral effect? I just want to be in a cathedral. All right. All right, so this first one is Touch the Sun. Fumble a little bit. All right. Catching the breeze, smoking the trees, carry the wood to a smoldering fire. No one around to feel a bother. Silently, I'm growing a little bit fonder. Touch the sun and we'll run away. Touch the sun and we'll run away. Cannot believe the synchronicity. Tell me that joke again, I want to laugh. Caught up in someone else's mess, don't underestimate your gift. You know that's meant to be. Now what I thought I'd ever want my life to be. You son of a gun, you aren't listening. All said and done, I'll just reset the dream. Touch the sun and we'll run away. Touch the sun and we'll run away.
touch the sun. I feel like I should throw this computer at the sun right now.
Was there issues?
Yeah, of course. All of a sudden, the camera went out of whack, and we were shooting on the freaking bar over there, and I don't know what the hell's going on today, bro, but the stupid computer day. Nick Vanderwood in the house, Trampoline Jetstream. It's Local Music Monday. Big ups to our boy Justin Smith, and unfortunately, he's not with us
I know. I miss you, Justin. I was talking about you earlier.
Yeah, Nick was almost ready to leave when he found out you weren't here.
We got to reschedule. You know,
Dude, we got to reschedule after our stupid computer day. That's for damn sure. Oh my God! Do you want to do another one?
I'll do one more.
Yeah, let's do one, and then we'll sit down and shoot the shit. I think that's probably our best bet
All right,
today.
yeah. We'll chill out, definitely.
Blame it on the computer.
Yeah. All right, so I'll do one more from the album. It's called Something's There. This one we actually wrote. We started writing it like 3 or 4 years ago, and then it came back in a newer way, and we loved it much more, and so we're excited about it. So,
Nick Vanderwood, ladies and gentlemen.
God is there, reach out for the gold. Cool air never seems so cold. I convince you something's there. I convince you something's there. Priceless rotting air, you breathe so slow. Who cares if we get too old? Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. I convince you something's there. I convince you something's there. Leaving so much frustration left behind. Now you cannot bear on the riverbed. I don't mean to let me roll the river to the sea. Let me roll the river to the sea. It's not too late. He's got his stare. Reach out for the gold. Cool air never seems so cold. I convince you something's there. I convince you something's there. Leaving so much frustration left behind. Now you cannot bear on the riverbed. On the riverbed. I don't mean to
Dude. Nick Vanderwood, everybody.
Thank you.
Nick Vanderwood. So Nick's going to go sit down for a second. We're going to shoot the shit a little bit. Yeah, stupid computer. We'll hang out.
Let's shoot the shit.
Hang out.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch this anymore, bro. This is what happens when you leave me in charge of things. Things get a little misconstrued, and I don't know. I think that I'm not magnetized is what's going on here. But you got some claps out there. Shout out to the peeps. Let's do a little roll call. Big ups to our unofficial sponsor, Tim Moyer. He's in the house. Give Gridley Page a like on Facebook. Go watch him on Twitch. Shout out to Gina. Thank you, Gina. Big ups to Motor Lord. They'll be coming on really, really soon, too, next month. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks to Chilling with the Rick. Chilling with the Rick brought us out. Me and Justin did a great podcast with him just the other day. And you can check that out on the Chillin' with the Rick Facebook page. And so check that out. And, shout out to everybody that's out there watching. If you could do us a quick little favor and click the share button. Nick, man, what's going on, bud?
Not much, I'm feeling pretty good.
Thanks for performing.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Sorry for the train wreck.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Totally fine.
It's good to see you.
Couldn't have been that bad, I mean, just the camera's moving to the left a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, a bit.
Oh, a lot of bit?
Yeah, it did a 360.
Oh,
yeah.
That's bad.
It's weird.
I'm sorry, guys.
Shit happens, though. So you guys are in the studio. Well, you're going into the studio in a couple weeks.
Yes. Yep. Actually, so I think, when is June 1st? Is that next?
It's coming up.
Monday?
Don't ask me.
June 1st. So I think it's next Monday we're going to the studio. It's exciting because we're going to be recording differently than we normally do. We would normally multi-track. Adam will do the drums. Trent will do the bass, guitar, vocals last. But this time, we're actually going to go in there in the live room, and we're all going to just play together and try to get the takes all at once.
Old school style.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, we're probably going to add like acoustic later and vocals later, but a lot of it is going to be, we want to capture that raw spirit of the song. So, and finally, it's going to be a debut album. Won't be a small little EP we've been doing for a couple years. So
what's going to happen with this album? Do you guys plan on pressing this? Is it just going to be live streamed, or how do you plan on getting it out to the masses?
We're going to find a way to get vinyl. I mean, that would be amazing. I think that's definitely the route we would love to go eventually. Probably when shows and tours are happening, that'll be a big goal for us. Mm-hmm. But other than so I'm trying to think. I think we would probably release this in the fall, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And we've been talking to Lisa from the Stanley.
Yep.
I know you know Lisa.
She's my good
She's
friend.
great. I mean, me and Adam met her.
She's a big fan of yours, by the way.
Oh, I know.
She's
awesome. She's so cool. That means so much.
When we had that singer-songwriter contest last year throughout COVID,
mm-hmm.
and you really, really turned her head. She was like, "Who's this kid, Nick Vanderwood?" She called me right up. I'm like, "That's my boy." Actually, she's like, "I love this song. I love this video."
With Piggy Bank, right?
Piggy Bank.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It was cute.
Yeah. I got to release that one, actually. I was supposed to, but I didn't.
So what are you guys talking to her about?
Well, actually, so we met her in December. We were going to shoot a music video, and at the time we were working in the Jerry stuff, but, we were thinking maybe we should save up for the newer album because we were really spending a lot of time on that. So I think I contacted her last month, and we were thinking about doing a live stream at the Stanley of the newer album.
Beautiful.
So that would be really cool to do like a release show there, whether it's with people or not. At this point, we're on a good road. Hopefully, we could get some people in there.
Yeah.
But I still would love to talk to Lisa again about it. But that's pretty much the goal. It isn't 100% in stone, but that would be awesome.
I could probably almost guarantee that you're going to perform at the Stanley sooner than later.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, throw it into the universe, man.
Oh, definitely.
Throw it out there.
Hell yeah.
Go to bed every night meditating, going, "We're going to play the Stanley. We're going to play the Stanley."
I'll have to do that.
You got to manifest it, bro. Manifest it to the
Manifest
universe.
the energy of the universe.
That's it, man. How you feeling, though? Everything good? You back? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. It's weird. It's sort of not like, it's like, wow, I can actually go out to like, a bar and have a couple of drinks. I spent so long like I'm not doing any of that. I'm preserving my voice. I'm preserving until I feel ready to do it, So I think that mindset, like I still have that mindset, but I'm sort of letting loose a little bit, It's just exciting. because it feels like I can actually participate in the world.
Yeah.
When that wasn't the case for so long, it's amazing, you know.
We got to let people that don't know. Prior to COVID, you had some nodules in your throat, and you had to deal with some serious like health complications for a minute there. But you're 100% clear from that, right?
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was so it wasn't nodules. The thing that was scary was the doctor, you know, he'd put the tube up my nose. If anyone wants to know, when they look at your vocal cords, they put it up your nose, and it goes down the back of your throat. And you can actually, because right now I'm looking at a TV right in front of me, it's the same thing. They would have a TV, and I would look at my voice, and he's like, "All right, now go you know, sing a note," and I'll I'll do something like that
with the tube in your nose.
Yeah, yep. So I had to multitask. I had to have a tube in my nose and also sing. So he's like, "Yeah, it looks like at one point." You had I think he said a hemorrhage or like blood. Actually, like I don't even know how to say it without it sounding awful, but like, you know, my vocal cords were probably bleeding at one point. Plus the fact that I had a lot of neck trauma, like the muscles in my neck were strained, and it was hard for me to make them not strained. Like I literally had to, I had to do vocal exercises to make it feel better. So that's why, like, for a year, it hurt to talk, it hurt to sing. I didn't go anywhere. I would refrain from social events and all that. I mean, a lot of people have heard this story, but if you haven't heard, it was awful.
Yeah.
The worst thing. So it's definitely amazing to be able to go out again and actually talk and sing. And but I'm still growing. I still have to force myself to, you know, I have to limit how much I'm talking. And I still am very, you know, I wake up every morning, do some exercises, and so it's definitely become a part of my routine, my like every morning, every night. You know, I have to warm up before we play. But it was an awful experience, but it was the best experience because I learned a lot.
Right. There's always silver lining. When you were going through that whole process, were you writing any music? Did any kind of other than your art? I know you went full board with your art when you were down there in the lockdown. But did you start writing music too? Did you have any inspiration on writing some music?
Yeah, actually, that's what's cool is that the newer album has a lot of. So it was like a couple of summers ago I started writing. I definitely was writing some tunes, and that I had to force myself to start singing again because I think I had so much anxiety to talk and sing. My doctor was like, "No, in order to get better, you need to start singing.
It's a muscle.
You need to do it. You need to exercise it. It's like, you know, if you want to heal from, you know, a broken leg, you can't just stop walking because you'll never walk again." So I had to do the same thing, you know. So some of the songs that we released on this album, that we will release on this album, were in that growing process of like, okay, I'm getting back into it, and it's a newer tone, a newer vibe, and this is just what works for me now. And I've learned how I was using my voice incorrectly for so many years, and I was just beating up my voice, not realizing that, you know, they're like, yeah, you shouldn't be losing your voice as much as you have been.
Your age.
Yeah, and it's like, because I spent so many years when I was younger, you know, before puberty, hitting these high notes, and I didn't need to do exercises. So by the time I like matured and grew, I realized that I didn't really know how to sing. You know, it was kind of shitty. It was like a realization that like, man, I'm actually not good. You know, I don't have a wide range, you know, but now it's sort of allowed me to kind of train in a different way that I never have, and I'm feeling differently singing. Any singers watching, like, you know, feeling it go up into your head instead of just all here.
Yeah.
So
were you not singing from the diaphragm, more just through the throat, right?
So I think like I would sing through the diaphragm, but there's only so much the voice can take, you know, even with the diaphragm. But I probably wasn't too. Like it was probably, I probably was getting really bad habits just singing from here. So, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, man. For you to go through all that at such a young age, but there's silver lining for all that, and you got really creative on your artwork, man. I mean, looking at your Instagram page and the stuff that you were putting out artistically was just like mind blowing. It's like this kid should be drawing cartoons.
Thank
That's
you.
what
Yeah,
you should be doing, you know. But then you have this other aspect of your life where you know you're a singer in a rock band. So there's like you like, got the best of both worlds.
It's like, well, which one am I doing? You know, for a while I was like, I don't know if I could be a singer anymore, and you know. But like those baby steps, like those small little achievements made me realize, oh no, I could do this. And, you know, I could do both. And we talked about it before on the phone. Like,
you're the same way. Like you can't just, it's hard to do one thing. It's like you do one thing, you get burnt out. So you go to something else that you're interested in. And, you know, that's what I did. I was just obsessed with drawing and, you know, how can I make this into digital art?
Get that NFT going, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. I love trying to do different. You learn, you round yourself out in all different areas of what you do, and you know, so that's what I was. It was great. It was a huge self-reflection. But the only shitty thing was is that by the time I was better to sing again, I was out of my personal self quarantine. The pandemic hit, and then I had to quarantine again. I was like, oh, well, I'm used to this, and you know, it gave me more time to sort of figure out my voice, and it was a silver lining, like you said. You know, instead of just jumping right into shows and, you know, possibly injuring myself again, you know, it didn't force me to just go out and do something that I would regret, you know. It gave me that time to reflect and sort of heal. So
now that the band is going to be jumping into the studio, are you guys on a strict practice regimen right now?
Yeah, actually, this week we're going to be tonight. I think every night. Pretty sure every night until, because Monday is coming soon. So
now, when you in rehearsal, are you not singing as much? Are you projecting as much as you would normally do, say, in a live setting? Or are you kind of toning it back a little?
I try to. I personally tell the guys, like, go through it a couple times and see how you feel instrumentally, because you know, if we mess up, we got to redo it over and over and over. So I let them do their thing until they feel confident, and then we try to get that like 1 or 2 takes. So I try to preserve the voice like that. But I try to push myself in a healthy way, because I don't want to just be, you know, refraining from doing things. I want to grow, so I got to sort of push myself. So it's all about how I feel. If I'm feeling strained, then I'm like, all right, guys, I'm done tonight. Do the instrumentals. But if I'm feeling good, you know, of course, definitely keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What age did you start performing at? 10? How old were you when you started? Like going to the clubs. So your dad used to bring you out to the clubs and stuff.
Okay, the bars.
Yeah, the bars.
Yeah, because there was like the high school elementary stage, and then, you know, then the bars at the same time, actually. So I think like 12.
12? You were 12.
The electric company.
Right, at the electric company. You were playing, and you used to remind me of a young Vince Neil when you used to get up there with your hat on and you're out there kicking it.
You always told me that.
I know. I used to tell you that a lot. And then just watching you grow. So what were you doing different back then as far as singing goes? I mean, obviously you're a kid. You don't really know the proper way to sing. So what were you doing differently?
Honestly, I was just belting chest.
Yeah.
I was... before puberty, I had the range of Steve Perry, Vince Neil, all these crazy singers, and you know, it was amazing to learn all of to be able to sing all that. You know, was amazing, and I loved it. And so when I couldn't do it anymore, it was a bummer. It was like, oh man, I got to step away. You know, so it changed my interests, my everything. And but the thing that's cool now is that now I know how they did it and were sustainable over time, because I was singing it in a different, you know, what's the word? I guess, before puberty, you know, I had just the range. It's insane.
Your balls didn't drop yet.
Yeah, my balls didn't drop yet. So, of course, I had to take advantage of that. It's like, oh, my balls haven't dropped yet. I got to sing Journey tonight, you know.
Right.
And every night. And it was great. I loved it. I mean, it was the best experience. I think just learning the melodies was just, you know, it's formed my own creativity now. You know, I think it's deeply ingrained, all of these amazing singers, and you know, and I always find it amazing. You said Tim Moyer. I don't know if he's watching, but
he's watching.
I'll never forget. Like he gave me some voice lessons too, and even Jose Lopez, and like, oh, I miss you guys. But I was just thinking back those days, the seventh and 8th grade. Those were the years where I was, you know, I did the anthems and started going to Saranac, and they were teaching me. It was great.
Well, everybody was bringing you on stage, too. Every time I turned around, there was Nick on stage. Like, there's 14-year-old Nick singing with The Bomb or singing with Showtime or whomever, Dashboard Nixon or whomever. You know, you were up there. Everybody had you on stage with them.
I know. I still, like, I mean, Gary Johnson, Justin Smithson, Sean Smith, Jose. I mean, there's just so many people, so many singers and musicians that, like, you know, I haven't seen in so long, especially since the pandemic. But, like, you know, it's giving me that time to reflect and, like, man, like, those were the best years. They, like, really influenced me and inspired me to go out and play and not care and just, you know, because when you're that young, I was a shy kid. And I still feel that way, that like sort of introverted, shy kid. But when you have like role models like that when you're younger, and I just can't thank him enough for that. So yeah, I'll never forget I always just have the craziest memories that come up in my head.
Like what? Go ahead.
Just one of them, Sean Smith just like picking me up, like just going up to the mic. Oh, it's great.
Come here, boy.
Yep.
He's such a big burly dude,
I was like 4'8" or something. No, I don't even know.
Yeah, you were 12, 13 at the time.
Yeah, I was.
And then there was one time where Street Rock got back together for that one bomb set that we all did, like Fight for Your Right to Party, and you got on stage and did some Disturbed, and that was a lot of fun, man.
That was the last time I was up there, I think.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was so fun. Oh, man.
Yeah.
MJ and the Bomb, they rock.
I give a little shout out to the Bomb because they open their doors to everybody. As far when they play Saranac, they have everybody come, get on stage with them, maybe play a song with them or do whatever. They've always been very open and invite everybody, which is cool. I've always loved that about them.
No, they're. I mean, it's been so long. I love those guys. The music they played, it was great.
So whereabouts did the musical change in you start? Or like your style, your writing, your genres? I mean, I know you've always been into all this different type of music, but at one point you guys were like a cover band. You guys were covering heavy metal songs and, kind of all those kind of things. And then it just kind of switched somewheres. And where does that change start?
Yeah, I think a part of it, I think a part of it is that when I was younger, I loved the heavy metal. I loved that, like that rock stuff. But I also had that like really lighthearted, like the Beatles kind of, I loved that psychedelic kind of sound, but I wasn't really into it. But I think if I can think of one person, it's really the band. Alex, Adam, Trent, we all share such similar interests. And that's why we've been together for so long, especially Alex. I mean, Alex... he just knows. I can mention any band. He's like, oh yeah, I know that. I know that artist. He'll pull up the album that he loves, and I try to go to him as much as possible for different bands and artists. And I'm like, Alex, I'm hitting a dead end with music. Send me something. Send me a playlist. And Alex is always just trying to learn something new, and so he's just super inspiring for me too. So, I think we both really inspire each other, which is great.
You bring up Alex watching that shy little timid kid in the corner, couldn't even plug in his guitar, to like now looking, he's a freaking monster. Watching his progression.
Are you thinking of Adam?
Him too. He's another one.
Are you thinking of Adam?
We'll talk about him in a little bit too.
No.
Adam was the one that couldn't plug in the guitar. That's right.
Yeah. I think Alex is pretty good at plugging his guitar. Actually, he was pretty good.
He's really good at plugging.
That's one thing. If I remembered, at the Columbia, I was like, damn, like
But that kid Alex has come so far, like where he was to where he is now, and now he's just he's a kid shredder now. I
mean, if people check out Amnoliac T-Stone, if they don't know, that's his. He doesn't go by his name. It's Amnoliac T-Stone. Check it out because he does some wild ambient stuff, and he's got a new single I think coming out this Friday. But super inspiring. He's so good at mixing his own music and just writing and. It's great because when you get that element with what I bring to the band and what Adam brings, it's a melting pot and it's awesome.
It really is. And Adam's another one too, man. The kid started off in Glen Street playing guitar. Well, actually he started playing drums, right? And then he switched over to guitar and then went back to drums.
Actually, he was electric.
Yeah,
he was electric guitar, and then he went to drums. And I don't know if he ever. I think he sort of just stayed on drums once Will left. Will Gordon. I don't know if he's.
Shout out Will Gordon.
Will, love that pizza man.
Willie G. But yeah, Mannion, he progressed so much too, and what a well-versed musician he's become.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, everyone has grown so much in music, as a musician, and it's awesome. It's so great to be a part of that, especially Quinn and Ben of Substance and Sun Colored Chair. I don't know if anyone knows Sun Colored Chair is my guitarist, Alex, and Quinn and Ben. Who used to be local musicians. Well, they're local musicians still, I think.
They're from the area.
They're from the area.
But they moved.
Substance. They moved, but, they're still around. But check them out.
Yeah.
They're just most talented musicians I've ever met.
Really are.
They're just...
That's the other thing I love about you guys, man. You guys really... And it's beautiful to see that you've created your own scene here in the area. You have a relationship with a lot of these other bands you mentioned, Subson and Sun Yellow Chair. You have this great Copper Vein Clone's another one. You guys are like, you got this tight knit brotherhood going on, and everybody's writing their own music, and you kind of lean on each other a little bit too. Like, hey, check this out. This is what I'm doing. What are you guys doing? And that's so cool to see. That's almost, it kind of reminds me of like a late 80s, early 90s Seattle type of scene. Yeah. Just because of the camaraderie and the brotherhood that's going on with you guys.
Oh, exactly. Yep. And a place like the Bank, the Bank. Yeah. That would be the Mecca. That would be the place we would go and practice all the time, meet so many different musicians from the area. And, you fill in on guitar, and you got like 7 people on stage, and all our inspirations coming together into like this big jam, the best memories at the Bank. And
that's where you cut your teeth, man.
Yep.
It's pretty much, that's it. The Bank was everything.
It was. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. And like watching you guys grow, it's been truly amazing. I got to talk about Barneys Quadrant.
Oh, yeah.
I love that song, by the way.
You love that song, yeah.
Yeah, it's been on heavy rotation on one of my playlists.
Oh, I'm glad.
Well, because I love the change in that. There's so many different changes that go on in that song. But Barneys Quadrant, is that pretty much written about your dad, or like what's that whole basis about?
Yeah, so like it's cool. This song is great because we wrote it in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes because
one of those.
My dad came in the back room. He's like, "Hey, Donut's going to be ready in 20 minutes." and we started working on a song, and I think I had the intro, the beginning of the or what was it? I can't even remember. I started singing another song. Anyways, I started with the first riff, and then we just we kept adding ideas like, oh, why don't you do this now? And like we could I can't even remember. It was just so quick. The song came together. The parts came and went. And by the time like it was 20 minutes, like we were done. We were pretty much done with the structure, and it was ready to go. The food was ready. We went out into the kitchen. We were eating the donuts, and we're looking out the window, and my dad starts talking about the moon, and he's like, the moon in this position in the sky, this is my favorite spot. Like, it can't be anywhere else. This is where the moon should always be. 'Cause, the moon's always traveling in different spots. But so we're like, oh, so that's your quadrant. And like that's what quadrant means. It means like a specific area in time. So we were like, let's call it Barneys Quadrant. That's your quadrant. And so I had to do with the moon and eating donuts. So it's a good story.
Your dad takes great care of you guys, man.
He does.
He does.
Oh, I mean, the food, the dinners. Oh my God. We'll be ready. Like, we're almost like ready to go. And he's like, oh, but the pie is going to be ready in 10 minutes. We're like, oh, okay.
We got to eat the pie.
We'll go through the song again, and then we'll eat pie,
Did he love the song, though, when he first heard it? He must.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I hope.
There was times when you guys are writing new stuff, he would be texting me like, you got to hear this stuff, and I can hear his voice as I'm reading.
Way.
Like, you got to hear what they're doing. And I'm like, I can't wait. And a lot of that stuff is what you guys put out on that EP.
Yep.
And it's truly amazing what you guys are doing. Check out Trampoline Jetstream, people. If you haven't heard of them, there's some people out on our Facebook that are watching that aren't from the area. If you guys should check out Trampoline Jetstream, an amazing band. They're really good. And I love the way you guys have progressed. You guys were Glen Street at one time, and it went from this rock band, and now you guys are really, it's more of a progressive rock type of thing, I would think.
It's like a progressive, like psychedelic. It's got that rock element, alternative rock, definitely.
And there's parts of funk, and there's parts of blues, and there's like a little parts of everything, man.
Yeah.
What I love about you guys is you take from different genres and kind of make it into your own.
Yeah. We all have, that's what's great. We'll show each other music that's like, oh, wow, I'm surprised you're listening to that too, because I was just listening to it. It's those moments, and you hear those elements when we bring each other, like, here, I've got this riff, and like, oh, that reminds me of this song. And I love the process. It's a great process.
I do this to you guys every time you come in, but I got to know some of the music that you're listening to these days.
Oh, okay.
Some new stuff.
Sometimes, let's see, if I'm thinking of one off the top of my head, Mama Larky.
Mama Larky.
Which is
Should I write this down?
You can write it. Yeah, you can write it down. These are just some bands that it's definitely it's
Mama
newer.
Larky.
Mama Larky. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Of course, Alex showed me this band, and Alex shows me a lot of the bands that I'll probably mention, or I just happen to be listening to it too, and we're both into it. Radiohead is always on the rotation. Chili Peppers too. I mean, I went a long time not listening to the Chili Peppers, and when I come back to it, it's like, oh man, the album, by the way, always hits great.
You've always been a big Chili Peppers fan.
Always.
I've always seen a lot of I have always felt like a lot of your writing style was kind of similar to Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah, I love Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
I'm actually reading Scar Tissue right now again.
Oh, what a book.
It's crazy.
Oh, it is.
His life is insane.
His life was insane, bro. Especially the way that starts off that book.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I didn't know he was going through those health complications either.
Yeah, and like
just everything that he's been through.
Yep.
Great book.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's because I read it a couple years ago, and it's like I'm reading it again. I don't remember most of it, so I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go through it again.
What else you listening to?
But Crumb is another big band I really
Crumb.
like. Crumb, I mentioned it before, I think.
Okay.
Like breadcrumbs.
Oh, yeah.
Crumb. They're a new upcoming psychedelic band. A lot, the two bands I mentioned are like psychedelic, like modern psychedelic, like Tame Impala, MGMT. I mentioned before too, I'm still into the classics like the Beatles, Zeppelin, Sabbath.
Yeah.
I always got to throw them on rotation. As far as new band, actually, The Cure is one of those overlooked bands I never got into. And there's,
Really?
Yeah, I was like, damn, I actually like The Cure. There's a couple of good songs that I like. Let's see if I got any more.
You feel like those classic rock bands bring you, like they ground you, right?
Yeah.
They bring you back to your roots.
Yep. It was like we talked about before. It was just so new at the time that it was fresh, and it still is. I think it's still organic, and to recreate that is so hard to do. So that's why I always end up going back to it because it just feels so raw and new, and it's timeless. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially those old school heavy metal bands too, like Sabbath and the
Sabbath.
Doors and the pre heavy
The Doors
metal
too.
and
Yep, that's another one.
Led Zeppelin.
Yep. I try
Always-
to I try to be all over the place. Listen to newer stuff. I love the Gorillas. Just I try to expand as much as I can. And my sometimes my playlists get mixed with bands I've never heard of that I don't even remember the names because I'm like, oh, it's a sick song. I'll like it, and it'll show up again. And that I like that, and I also hate it because it makes me appreciate the band less. Like I'm just hearing the song and not, I try to like look into the band and like follow them on Instagram and where are they at? Try to be more personal with it. So there's a lot of bands that I can't even think of right now that I probably could mention that I just can't.
I want to go back to the writing style. Are you a memos guy? Kind of record into your voice memos, or do you write things down? Like, when you come up with an idea, how do you make that secure so you don't forget it?
Definitely memos. Yeah. It's like a sound recorder on my Samsung. It's great. I like pull it out quick, and sometimes I'll just like whistle a part or hum it. And I'll listen back to it, and sometimes it'll sound awful, and so I make sure no one hears that. I'm like, oh, that sounds terrible, but I got the melody. I remember it. Mm-hmm. So I do that all the time, almost every day.
Do you kind of fine tune that, then bring it to the band, or do you bring it to the band right away?
I fine tune it.
Yeah.
I try to wait as long as I can until I feel confident with it, because like I feel like sending something that's not finished to the band almost takes away from what it could be, and like the first impression I think is so important.
Yeah.
So to come at it with it like not fully prepared, so that's why sometimes I just go and make the demo and be like, hey, I made a new demo, guys, and then they check it out. And
do they tell you if it's crap or not? Are they honest with you? Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, are they like, it sucks, or
no, they're never that blatant. No, they're probably thinking it like, this one's weird.
Well, maybe they're thinking it, but they could figure out how they can fine tune it too.
Yeah, I think a lot of times I don't expect them to like it, because sometimes I'll be like, this could be my own thing, and that's fine, But if it happens to be Trampoline Jet Stream, that's fucking great. But if it's not, no big deal. A lot of times it grows on them where they're like, wow, I didn't think I'd like that. And, they like it now. And Touch the Sun, the one I played earlier, was one of those. I started writing it in January. And I was just going to release it like in February. And then I showed Alex, and then he made a guitar part to him. Like, oh, cool. And then the guy sort of, it became, we had a set list of songs that we really liked. And then that song like almost took over the others. So it's cool how some songs come out of nowhere. And you're like, all right, well, that might be the single, and we didn't even think it was going to be a thing. So
yeah.
It's cool.
Quick shout out to my boy Lou Greco out there from the Uncle Louie Variety Show checking in. What's up? If everybody out there in Facebook land could do us a favor and click the share button, help spread the word of Nick Vanderwood and Trampoline Jetstream, and of course everything we're doing here at the D. You played a song earlier. You said that it took you 4 years to kind of fine tune it, or maybe revisit it. What was the difference, and how did you make it better?
Oh yeah, something's there. That was when we were sort of a hard rock metal band, and we really drove it. It sort of sounded like Weezer a little bit, like it was just had that driving force. But I think last year, I want to actually no, it was 2 years ago during my vocal injury. I was playing so much acoustic, and I added a new part that at the time I was just jamming, and I realized, oh, that works with something's there that I haven't played in 2 years, and then I sort of snuck it in there, and it worked great. And I made a demo, sent it to the guys, and we just went with it. We're like, this sounds cool, and it somehow made its way. It's so cool how that happens. It just pops up. There it is. We haven't heard the song 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been longer actually, 6 probably 2015. So yeah.
So when you're doing the studio process, which you're going to do a whole new process, like you mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, you're going to set up in the live room and try to capture it live. You're going to set the mood and stuff like that. Like, I feel like bands should start recording a little bit more like that because it sets the vibe of things, because sometimes you lose the energy of tracking instrument by instrument.
Yeah,
and kind of piecing it together, then it just becomes, it sounds computer generated type of thing. You know what I mean, though? Because everything's got to be matched up, but capturing it live, it just has so much heart and have so much energy. I mean, you guys got to be looking forward to doing it that way.
Yeah, no, we're so psyched. We loved how Jerry came out.
Yeah.
But we were worried that doing something like that again might make it more karaoke, where you're just playing the parts, and it's different when you're just doing karaoke. You're just playing the part, you're playing over and over again. But when the songs are new and you're performing it live together with a band, like a live setting, sometimes those are the best performances. And to like finish the song, and Jeff Adderman says this all the time, and I'm gonna take it from him, but like, did we get that? Like, holy shit, that was the take. And then you're done. There's a song. So that's our goal, is to try to get that to happen. Just capture that raw energy. It's a newer song. We didn't play it to death 1,000 times. Adam didn't do take 57, and he just wants to gouge his eyes out. It's like,
it happens, bro.
Yeah,
it does. You can get burnt, especially when you're sitting there take after take after take after take. You can get really burnt quick,
to the point where you're just like, I'm sick of this song. But this experience might be good. It's harder though. It's really hard to get everyone on the same page. Like, 2 people could have the best take of their life, but if the bassist or the drummer or whatever fucks up that one little part, you got to do it again. So we all have to be super, super tight.
And it helps that you guys practice your asses off, though.
Yeah.
You guys are constantly practicing. You mentioned his name. We got to bring him up. Jeff Adderman. What's the best thing Jeff Adderman's taught you?
Oh, the best thing?
Or some of the things. I'm sure you've learned a lot of things from him.
There's one thing we talked about that I did, because I did... I did Because, the cover Because by the Beatles, where the harmonies, it's like a 3-part harmony. In the studio, he would have me double parts in like harmonies and like the lead. Oh, okay, you're going to do the lead again. And I'm like, why do we have to do the lead again? I was like, you're killing me. But then I realized, it's like, you're filling in the spaces, like the vowels. It's much more, it's bulkier, and it sounds much better than just copy and pasting the previous take. Because every take is completely different, even though it's the same part. When you line them up, it's just, you could tell the difference. It sounds smooth. And so that's one huge thing that I learned on my own when I'm recording lead parts is, with the 3-part harmony I did, I had to do it 9 times because George, John Lennon, and Paul, even though they did 3 different parts, each of them had to do it 3 times, and it made it huge.
Yeah.
And so I was blown away. I was just thinking of Jeff the whole time when I was doing it. Like, wow, he's freaking right.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
It's one person you don't want to doubt, especially when it comes to when you're in the control room and in the studio. You just let Jeff take the ball and let him run with it, because the guy is a genius.
Yeah. Oh, he's so great. I mean, we have some of the longest conversations because there's always just so much to talk about. And there's so much substance to it that you don't want to stop. So it's great. I love it. I can't wait to be with him next week.
Mike Coley from 315music.com is saying anger management. Is that something you learned from Jeff Adderman? Like watching him get a little crazy in the studio?
Yeah, yep. He has his moments.
He does
and he
his
admits
moments.
it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But he's really good at like knowing it and being aware of it, and so it's great. You know, he's so great to work with.
Yeah, it really is.
It's awesome.
And if you know him as long as we've all known, I've known him for 25 years, you know that's his vibe, and you just give him the ball and let him go. And he always makes a great product, always. I was so happy with the Street Rock Mafia album. I still
love that
happy.
album.
Me too. I still love it. And I don't like any of my albums. I hate them all, except for that one.
Booty.
Milky White
Oh, man.
Booty.
I got to listen to those again.
Yeah, man, we had a great time back in the day, and maybe eventually we'll get that all going. And I got to give a big shout out to Chris Mandry. You see what Mandry's doing nowadays?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I follow him. Yep. I love Chris. It's just his chops. Oh, I love watching his drumming.
He's an
videos.
amazing player, but him with green jello right now is like it's a perfect fit.
Yep.
They're in costumes every Saturday night, and he's playing with Angela from Fishbone, and they're doing all these crazy things and trivia questions, and just it's wild. It's a wild party. It's the perfect fit for
He's
Chris
a character.
Mandry.
Oh, he's great.
That, and on top of his comedy thing that he's doing a lot of stand-up.
Doing comedy too?
Yeah, he's doing some stand-up.
Oh my god,
It's hilarious.
I gotta check that out.
I know.
I gotta check that out.
So you go in the studio in a couple weeks, and then we'll put it out. You guys gonna do some videos? Any kind of visual aspect to some of these tunes?
Yeah, actually, that's something I'm like, just like, because I was in school for a little bit, so I really couldn't focus a whole lot on it. But in the past couple weeks, I've been able to sort of conjure up some ideas. So that's exciting. You know, I listen to the album all the way through, and sometimes I'll just be drawing, you know, sort of like jamming. You're just, whatever comes out, and you sort of brainstorm. So some of it's animated. Some of it is like also ideas of like actual practical camera setups, you know, locations. And I'm starting to think about ideas for sure. I'm not sure how many songs or which ones yet. I have a couple in mind, but definitely, honestly, in my head, I'm like, I gotta get on this because there's a lot, you know, and it's a tedious process to go through. So, but it's fun. I love the process.
Yeah, doing a little cartoon strip.
Yeah, actually, yep. Thinking about that.
Yeah,
yep. Because I did a little 3D art in school, and this next semester I'll be doing more 2D, which is probably what I'm gonna be diving more into. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And now that I feel like venues are starting to open back up again, have you guys thought about doing some live shows this summer, or maybe push it into the fall, or what's the plan on that?
I think we have 4 shows.
Oh, you do?
I spread out through the summer. I'm really bad with dates right now.
I know you guys are playing at Woods Fest.
Yep, Woods Fest is one of them.
That's coming up in August, I think 4th and 5th, or somewhere's right around that time. So I'm not sure what day you guys are playing, but that's going to be a great time. Last time was an amazing time.
Was it great? I don't think I go to it.
It was awesome.
Oh, I'm excited.
It was awesome back in 2019. It packed. So many people there. They had all the best of the local bands there. And the Coley does a great job putting that thing together. And shout out Tim Woods, too, over at Woods Valley.
Yeah, yep.
It's going to be a great time. So cool. I know you're playing that. What else you got on the docket?
We got a lot of it is there's like I think a wedding, a private party. I'm really, you know, it's something. To be honest with you, the shows have been the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
Because I've sort of assumed like 2022 would be the show. You know, let's focus on the album and the artwork and get that out, and then really kind of get the shows going. Woods Fest is the main one right now.
Oh, cool. And correction, it's August 7th and 8th.
August 7th and 8th?
Yeah. Cool. I don't know what day it is ever.
No, I'm awful with dates right now, too. Yep. I don't even, what is it, the 23rd, 4th?
Don't ask me.
Okay, something like that.
There it is right there. May 24th.
Oh, okay, good.
That's why I have the time up there, just in case, so
It's May.
You know what day it is. And
3/25.
yeah,
okay.
Just look up, and there it is. But that's going to be a good time. You're going to love Woods Fest. They really put
I'm excited.
together
I've never been to
festival.
it. I've always heard of it.
I want to say this is going to be their 3rd one. I think it's their 3rd one.
Oh, cool.
So it should be interesting. And they got all the great local bands. All your buddies are playing, you know. So
I'm excited to be a part of it. You know, it's great. Got a shout out to Tim Woods for that. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'd like to see more of that pop up. And, as, the restrictions become less and less, you're going to start seeing a vibrant music scene again. I really feel that in my heart.
I feel it too. I don't want to, a part of me doesn't want to be disappointed and be too optimistic. But at the same time, I think something's got to give eventually. It's been a year and a half.
Yeah, we just got to end this shit.
I mean,
just end it.
As long as we can just keep moving forward, definitely.
That's it. That's all we got to do is keep moving forward. But I really think, though, that the music scene is really going to pick up because everybody missed it,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like anyone wants to just go out. Who cares what band it is? Let's just enjoy live music and be out free and not have any anxieties of, if I'm without my mask, am I going to get in trouble or am I going to get sick, get COVID?
Don't touch me.
Yeah. So
keep your that's the one thing I want. Keep your 6 feet distance away from me.
Yeah. Okay. You can keep that. Yeah. Or maybe everyone could just invest in one of those balls they can run around in, like
the flaming lips.
Yeah. So
the flaming lip balls.
We're all hamsters. That'd be fun. I would love to be on stage and just watching a whole crowd of hamsters and ball. That'd be fun.
The thing is too nowadays, the physical interaction with people, like if I'm hugging you, that means you mean something to me. Because I'm not going to hug any random person now. And I'm not shaking hands or I'm giving fist bumps or elbows or something. But if I'm hugging you, that means you're special to me. I'm not going to hug anybody. I'm not shaking hands with anybody. I do fist bumps, like I said.
Oh, yeah, fist bumps
But that's about it. And like this whole COVID thing has really made me keep my distance from people.
It's crazy how much it's changed everything.
Yeah, it really
your
has.
perspective on, I mean, I think it's crazy. Some people just used to go in to work sick and it was no big deal. And you're just working with someone who's sick. And I feel like moving forward, that'd be great if people who were sick just didn't come in to work, something like that. So just be smarter, I guess. Like, why do you got to go out and work when you're sick?
Gina's saying there's nothing like live entertainment. She's right about that. What's your summer plans other than playing and recording and stuff? Are you going to do anything? You going to any concerts? You taking any trips? What do you got planned this summer?
Well, I have a friend who just moved to California, actually like right outside of LA. And that was the one trip I was thinking of because I've never been to LA or California in general.
You got to visit Mandry when you're there.
And I would love to visit. I feel like I would really love it. The whole band went there. They were all in California at one point. I was here, home, and I was just like, damn it, I got to go. So I feel like I'm set on that, probably in August.
Oh, cool.
Doing that. Other than that, I'm trying to, I think, just focus on the music and the art and the album, stay local. And I'm at SUNY Poly too, so I do have plans to go back for the semester. So
awesome.
I want to try to live up the summer as much as I can.
Yeah.
Meet as many friends and people I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. Because it's been 2 years that I haven't been out and about because of my injury and the pandemic. So I feel like I've just been quarantined for so long. And
you're ready to bust
I'm
loose.
ready to fucking go.
I love it. I see Pops is playing too. The old Simple Props is back out there a little bit. They got some dates booked.
I wish I could plug in where they're playing right now.
I know they're playing at the Harp like this week or next week or something.
The Harp, yes. I think they're playing at the Harp
next week. I think it is.
Next week.
June, the first week of June.
Simple Props. That'll be great.
Oh, yeah, man.
I was there a couple nights ago, so that was...
We had Mike on the band. We had Mike on Local Music Monday a couple weeks ago. Mike Sales from Simple Props.
Oh yeah,
He's probably been a little influence for you as well because he's in your dad's band.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mike is such an underrated musician out here locally.
Underrated.
Like nobody ever gives that man some love, and that guy has got a range like none other.
I've heard those golden pipes when I was like 3 years old. I'd be in the room trying to fall asleep at 11. Get up for second grade, and he's just belting out Journey that's what was the first inspiration for me too. And I was like, holy shit, I could sing these songs too, So the fact that the band room was right next to my room, and they were always practicing, I loved it, and I never thought I'd ever be a singer, So it's weird how that works out, and I would catch him occasionally at the gym, and we would talk about, singing. And just dynamic and how you technique and everything. And recently I've been thinking it'd be great if I could get a little lesson from him because he's so good. I mean, he's got some. I'm sure he's got some tricks up his sleeve or something.
He definitely does. He's an amazing singer, and it's a good person to be influenced by.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And of course my dad too.
Yeah. Now, did you take guitar lessons, or did your dad give you guitar lessons?
It was sort of an unconventional guitar lesson. It was more like, here's the open chords, like, you know, E standard, G, D. I sort of figured out. I don't think he showed me bar chords. He might have showed me a little bit, but I remember I was really invested in what song was it? I think it was. I guess you just what I needed. Was it Cars? Or?
Just what I needed, the Cars. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first song I learned bar chords on, and they were playing that song. So another example, like the fact that they were always playing, sort of inspired me. I'm like, oh, I like that song, and so yeah, my dad showed me like the open chords, and then I just sort of took it from there.
Yeah.
And
he didn't push it on you.
He did a little bit.
Did he?
He was like, you should be singing and playing guitar.
But he wasn't militant about it.
No, he wasn't militant about it. He was definitely not militant about it. He was sort of like
be a militant.
No, he was sort of just like, hey, you're good, do it. You know, like you're fine. You know,
encouragement.
Join this band. You know, you're 13 or 12. Like, just join this like rock band, and they're all older than you. And you know, if it was just me, I would never done it.
Right.
You know, but that was what I realized. Like, oh wow, I could sing. You know, it was weird how you just get pushed into that.
Then what I want to bring up, the night was it? What was your band? Darling Vendetta, right? Was that the name of the band?
Oh wow, that's
it was back when, right?
I like that, but it's Sweet Vendetta.
Oh, Sweet Vendetta. Darling Vendetta was my other buddies. That's right. I'm sorry.
Oh no way.
Sweet Vendetta.
Sweet Vendetta.
I'm sorry. Sweet Vendetta.
Yep.
And you guys played at the Stanley, and that was the night Screech was there. Screech, Saved by the Bell, Diamond Dustin, who recently just passed away. And I had seen a picture of you guys and Diamond and Dustin Diamond.
Dustin Diamond, yeah.
Dustin Diamond. And so what was that night like? What was he like? Do you remember any of that night?
I do. I was, man, that was so long ago. But I don't think I really had a good. I don't think we had like a long conversation. But I remember him saying to me like, "Man, you got pipes." Like that, you know, it was great. I mean, he was a nice guy. Yeah. You know, so I was really bummed to hear about his passing. Yeah. You know, he was a really nice guy from what the interaction I had with him. But what a great night. I mean, he came up to the mic, was talking, and he was, pumping us up, getting the crowd going. He was great. What was it? The Animals for Animals benefit?
It was some kind of benefit at the Stanley. I can't remember what it was for.
I think Gridley Page.
It was a Keeler thing.
Gridley Page played as well on acoustic thing, and Tim had me guessing that night. Yeah, nice. I remember that. Yeah,
Uncle Tim.
And that was, I feel like that was actually the first time I ever met Tim.
What was it?
I'm pretty sure it was at the Stanley. He's like, "Here, sing 'Don't Stop Believing in Me," and he did one verse, I did another.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's of course these are things I haven't thought of in years.
Well, I'm going to bring up something else that you probably haven't thought of either, but performing the national anthem at Boston Garden.
Oh yeah.
How does that come about?
So my uncle lived in Massachusetts, and he had a program called, it was I think USP, and it was he was pretty much helping kids with special needs, and somehow he had a connection with the Celtics where they would do half-court or halftime games, and he would have these kids, a group of kids, play a little scrimmage, on halftime at the Celtics, and I'm like, of course I would love it. So the first year I went, and I was helping out kids with special needs. We would play a game, and I wasn't singing at the time, but he did it every year. And then the next year came around, he realized like, oh, Nick, you're singing, and you're singing for UC hockey game, like a national. That's pretty cool. It's like you should do that for the Celtics. And I was like, oh, I could do that. And at the time, it was just sort of like whatever, But like out of nowhere, he messaged me and said, hey, they want you to send a video of you singing it.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit. So my dad, he's like, here, well, I'll play guitar. And we'll make a video together, and you'll sing along with the guitar, and it's probably still on YouTube. Actually,
it is.
You could look up me and my dad perform. That was a submission video for it, and maybe a week later they're like, yeah, no, you're set for this date. It was a preseason game.
You're shitting your pants.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, even the drive there, I was like, to be honest with you, like. My nervous system was going so much that I was like peeing every 10 minutes. I was like, holy shit. And like my hands were sweating. Like I had to grab the mic they gave me. Like I was like 4 foot, like looking up, like straight up, and still would see
How old
people.
are you?
24.
No, not now. I mean then.
Oh, that's right. 13. 12 or 13.
12 or 13 years
something
old.
like that.
And you're singing the national anthem at Boston Garden for a Celtics game.
I think I was so clueless that I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, I guess I'm doing this. And so it's so weird because I think I like almost had like a blackout, like where it's just I did it, I sang, and then when I was done, I'm like, what happened? I remember if I felt tingly, like my hands were tingly, and even describing it, I'm sort of feeling it, just like the flashbacks. I was embarrassed to give them the mic that was just my hands were sweating like crazy. So I'm like, here, take that.
Sorry.
Sorry. I've never done this before. I almost shit my pants but did I do okay? Luckily it went well, and they had me back for another year after.
Oh, so you did it a couple times?
I did it a couple times.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I mean.
Was it easier the second time?
I don't know.
No, you don't remember?
I have no clue. I mean, I was like 14 or 15. And
almost like an outer body experience.
Yeah, it was definitely, for sure. Like, you forget what you're doing. You just do it. And I'm just on autopilot, So I think that's what's great about practicing is that you can just do it. You don't have to worry about, about messing up. You can just perform, So it was such a life-changing experience, But I found that it was easier to do that than actually perform in front of 10 people. Like at high school, like when we would do plays, or even just auditions, for solo parts in the chorus, I was much more nervous to do that than actually singing the Celtics.
Wow.
I think it was more personal, and it's so strange how that works. And I think a lot of performers can relate to that. They would prefer a bigger crowd than, a couple people, who are just staring at you, judging you.
That muscle memory is a real thing, though. Especially when you're having those outer body experiences, and then all of a sudden you don't even know you're doing it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's done. You're like, wait, that just happened.
It's the coolest feeling. It's what you strive for as a musician. You don't have to worry about. That's why I practice every day. I try to spend as much time as I can vocally, just so I can just do it and not worry about doing it wrong and killing myself again. So, yeah.
Take me through some of your vocal exercises.
Oh, God.
Come on, do some for me.
Well,
because I probably need to learn how to do it myself, too, because I got this freaking scratchy voice. Who knows what's going on in my throat?
I thought I brought a straw, but I didn't. But
you do it with a straw?
Yeah. Do you have a straw?
I probably
Unused?
in the cabinet.
But actually, so if I don't have a straw.
I don't know about around here.
If I don't have a straw, I'll do so that's the thing is that I start with breathing, because if I'm short of my breath, then I'm just going to be pushing here. So I'll do just do long exhales, because singing is exhaling.
10-minute or 10-second breathe in, 10-second breathe out?
Yeah, and I try to hold it. I try to go as long as I can.
Okay.
So that when I sing, because singing is exhaling, the breath is before you sing, and then the singing is it's that kind of thing. And that's another exercise I do is the vocal fry. It's
the vocal fry.
They call it vocal fry, where you and you support it. You don't want to just you don't want to force it. You have to just really soft, and so that's one I do in the morning. And if I have a straw, I'll buzz it. I'll go, and I'll imagine that the air is going to the top of my head instead of here. So I'll try to have that kind of thing.
Who taught you these exercises?
My therapist actually at Rochester Strong Hospital. When I went there, when I saw my voice on a TV, they're like, all right, you have to do therapy. I would actually, before the buzzing, the straw, I would actually blow air into a big cup of water, and I would buzz it and actually bubble the water like a little kid would. I have memories of being a kid, chocolate milk would, and my parents were like, stop that. But I'm doing it again with water, and it's great. And because when I'm done with these exercises, I just feel so free. I'm not hitting a brick wall, and I have so much motion with air, and I can control it easier. And I'm sure Tim, if he's watching, or whoever, is a musician or singer, could probably relate to that. And for me, I've always been so bad at singing. I was so improper. So it's so amazing that these small exercises like work, and it blew my mind, and that's why I'm so obsessed with them now.
Gina wants to know, what does Vocal Fry do for you?
It actually, from what I've learned, there's a lot of YouTubers that I follow too. Eric Arsenault is a huge one. He has like one of the most viewed vocal exercise video, and he says it's a strengthening, because when you're doing that, it's the smallest amount of effort that you're putting on your voice. It's so small that like it's not doing any damage. It's hard to explain, but when I do it, it makes it easier to sort of land on the notes. So like when I'm really light, like you see how it sort of cracks?
Yeah.
It makes it's easier to go into those light that kind of thing.
So it's more on the inflection?
Yeah, I think it's because
More on the down?
Yeah, it's so soft that it makes it easier to land on the softer notes. It's hard to explain, but you feel it. You definitely feel the difference.
Yeah. Have you shared your experience with your with your throat and your vocal process with people that are going through it too?
Oh,
like the same thing that you're going through?
I'm trying to. So, Kate Devin, we were talking about it earlier too. Like,
yeah, shout out Kate Devin.
Yeah, Kate Devin. I don't know if she's watching right now, but I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, we're sending you positive vibes.
Everything that, if you guys don't know, Kate Devin has been going through some serious health issues too, and it's very related. It's similar to what I went through. Hers seems to be much more serious though. So I try to give her as much advice as I can.
Yeah, good.
Because it was so awful for me to go through that. No one should go through that. Like, no one should ever have to speak with pain, or to not be able to sing, and So I try to give her as much advice as I can, and what I went through and what helped and worked for me. She definitely, I'm not sure if it was really like vocal exercise oriented. I might have mentioned a little bit, but I think more on a spiritual level, like just, grounding yourself, not getting too caught up in your thoughts.
Yeah.
And, that was sort of the first step for me. I had to believe that I could get better. And once you believe you can get better, that's the stepping stone. And that's like the trail you begin to healing, getting better.
Yeah.
And then you start adding therapy and, figuring out what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And like, maybe I shouldn't go out tonight and do this. Maybe I should just stay in and heal for a year or months. And that's what I did. I was dedicated. And, so I really hope, Kate, that you can pull out of it, because it's...
Yeah, me too.
And I think you will.
She's a great talent.
You do so much, and I think you have so much energy, youthful energy, that you have a lot of time.
Indeed.
You have a lot of time to pull through it. And that's what I had to believe. It's like, I'm still young. This is where I could transform. This is where I could begin something new. And so that was what was also really great about it.
Like watching her transition into the different genres that she's
Yeah.
going into right now. It's great. I like what she's doing right now. So
Yeah.
we're sending you positive vibes, Kate. That's for damn sure. We want to see everybody.
sure.
And that's awesome that you're kind of like the big brother role model for her right now.
And I try not to be forceful on it. Like, do
Right.
this,
Yeah.
you will never get,
Because you don't want it done to you.
Yeah, I mean, people should they should be easing into it. Everyone goes at their own pace,
Right.
and I don't want to be intimidating about it. Do what's best for you. I'll give you some advice, of course, and but take it slow. Don't get so caught up in how long it takes, and that was something I had to keep telling myself too. Is that oh man, it's been a year now, and I'm still not better. But like, I had to ignore that thought.
You had to
that
get
was
out of
like,
your head.
that doesn't matter. Like, time doesn't matter. You just have to ignore it. You need to realize that you're way beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you exercising too, other than the vocal exercising?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that
helps too, right?
That was. I also did physical therapy, not just for my voice, but my body, because my neck. Another thing too is that during the vocal injury, I had also helped lift a piano and strained my neck.
Oh, geez.
And that was probably the biggest issue. I still have soreness sometimes that I have to mend. I actually have to do regular stretches, and even the vocal exercises help the muscles from being tight. But yeah, I had to help lift a piano. They didn't have a ramp, and I totally strained my throat. It hurt so bad. I mean, I still deal with that. So I have to. So doing like back exercises keeps the tension from just building up. You know, I have to always, you know, once I stop exercising, I start to feel way more sore. So when I start exercising again, I feel great, and so I love it.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I know it's probably the best. It's almost good that like the soreness comes on. It forces me to get into shape. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Keep you active.
Yeah.
You have a lot of energy. You always have.
I'm insane.
Yeah, you are a little bit, slightly.
I'm slightly insane. I'm all over the place. My vocal therapist was also like, okay, knowing you, do this exercise, but like just chill out. Don't do it too much. She literally had to tell me, like, okay, just calm down. Don't go extreme with it. And so, yeah. That's just how I am.
You got to scale back a little bit.
I have to scale back, and that was why I injured myself. So, yeah.
But I'm sure, like, throughout this pandemic and throughout what you were going through, but you learned a lot through all that and taught yourself to scale back a little bit and not be so.
That was that extra push, and I needed it. I mean, awful that it had happened. I mean,
just to slow things down.
Yeah.
I feel like humans need to slow things down too, because we're always so go. I fall through the same thing. I go through the same shit, just constantly go, and eventually you're gonna hit the wall.
Yeah,
and you're just gonna fall apart and just either become not being able to move or just become depressed or whatever. But just it's good to take it back and put things into perspective.
Exactly, and I think spending your time alone and being okay with it is like the best thing ever. And that was what I'm hoping a lot of people like learn from quarantine.
Yeah,
and I mean, at least for me too. I mean,
me too.
You don't always need to be out socializing, even though you got to keep your friends close. You know, you got to have your time. You got to be able to. If you're not in a good state, you're not ready to. You're just not ready to go out into that. And I don't even know how to phrase it, but spend more time on yourself.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's the one thing I learned from quarantine is, I love myself now. Right? Kind of struggled with it. I always had to have people around. Now I can actually be alone. I know it. And I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I love me.
And I love the transfer. I mean, just with Disruption Network, seeing your transfer from the show that you did. I think it was right before quarantine, right? In February, like 2 years ago, or
could have been.
I remember, like, you just. It's been so long, but just seeing the transformation has been so great, and like how you've connected with more people, and like I just love that you're doing this. It's
Thanks,
so cool,
buddy. And I love that you guys come on, man. It's like this is what I love about this community and the Utica community. I love it. It's a very tight knit community, but the music community. It's because I grew up in this music community. It's the only thing I know is music, pretty much. It's and so watching it grow to where it was, to where it is now, even though not a lot of people are out playing, but they will be.
Yep.
It's really created this really tight-knit brotherhood. I'll say it again because I know I said it earlier, but it really has.
Yep.
It created this tight-knit brotherhood. So I love it, and I love that everybody gets along now, and it's not competitive, and, we're just trying to help each other. I mean, look at how many people have invited you on stage throughout the years. That says a lot. You would never have gotten it. If you were growing up in the 80s, you would have never been invited up there. You would have been the guy sitting there like,
I could do that.
Suck.
Yeah.
These guys suck. I could do it better. That's how it was.
Yeah.
But it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure there is, but it's not. It's not out there as much as it was.
Yeah, and everyone I mentioned earlier too, like all the local musicians. I mean, that really it's just ingrained in my personality and my stage presence, and I owe it all to them to still have that and inspiration, and like. I would, once the pandemic's over, I would love to go back and perform with all the people that I used to, like Gary Johnson, Dashboard, Showtime, all those bands, The Bomb, Simple Props, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people like you, especially, we need more people like you who are so supportive of the local music, and it's hard to find that.
It's around, but definitely is, man. The order of the day, people, is to go and download Trampoline Jetstream. Go check them out online. They're on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere where you stream music. You could find Trampoline Jetstream. Great music. You guys are writing some great stuff, man. And you guys got a bright future. So just keep doing it. Keep plugging it away, and good things are going to come to you guys.
Thank you, Z.
I
Thank
love
so
you,
much.
Nick. I do. I got a lot of love for you and your whole family. So big love to all the Vanderwoods out there in the world.
Much love. Much love.
Much love to everybody out there. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we managed to make it through, and here we are, and all is good in the world. So if you're out there in Facebook land, please do us a favor and click the share button. Help spread the word of Trampoline Jetstream, EC Radio, Nick Vanderwood. He does a lot of great art, too, so check out his Instagram at Vandy_art on Instagram. It's amazing, amazing work. He's killing it out there. Shout out to my sponsors, EJA Moving Services, Dave Longaretta, my attorney. If you need legal advice, give him a call, 315-735-6162. Big ups to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, and Joey's at 307. Nick, man, thanks so much for taking the time today, man.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
Let's do this again soon, and maybe get the boys back in.
For
And when you
sure.
get the album out, whatever, we'll be here to promote it.
Oh, yeah, definitely in the summer. It would be great.
For sure, man. You got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
I mean, everyone I had mentioned today, I mean, much love to everyone. Plugging on, let's see. Trampoline Jetstream, you said it all.
All right.
I think you said it all.
Cool.
Trampoline Jetstream has a website. If you want to check that out, we have merch. If you want to buy a shirt, we've got like shirts with tigers on it. Like, it's pretty cool, I think.
I wear mine all the time.
And pretty soon we're coming out with an Edwin shirt.
Ooh, Edwin's getting his own shirt, huh?
If you don't know Edwin, if you don't know Edwin, he's an alien. He's our mascot.
Yeah.
He's actually always going on trips and adventure. You can follow him on Instagram as well, edwin.lifeform or something like that.
Edwin's probably hiking the Adirondacks right now.
I think he is,
probably
actually.
is.
I would have to check it. I'll check it after. But he's always out and about. He's the best. We're going to have a shirt for him eventually on that page. You can actually subscribe to our website somehow.
That's awesome.
But that's probably the main plug. If you want a shirt, give it an order. We got stickers. Check it out. We got a YouTube page. Subscribe to our YouTube as well, because we are releasing. Wow, I should probably mention we're releasing a song this Wednesday.
This Wednesday. Beautiful.
Actually, yeah. One last thing.
Yeah.
It's a song that didn't make the For Days on N EP last year, which is the anniversary is the 26th. This Wednesday.
Oh wow.
And that was our first EP we ever released, and it was The Quarantine. We did it separately. We weren't in the same room recording it. And the song just didn't make the cut. We ended up just choosing 3. So now that's been a year later, we're going to release it. We're just going to put it on YouTube and Bandcamp. We're maybe down the line, we'll put it on all streaming, but we want to keep it short and small. We'll have like a little video with the art. And I was going to mention the title, but I'll surprise you. Wednesday, and I think it'll be coming out in the morning. So keep your eyes peeled.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it. Looking forward to
We're
it.
excited. It's a different one. It's something we've never really done before, so it's
A little outside the box.
so it's outside the box, which might be why we didn't choose it, but
Okay.
it's cool.
Good.
Well-
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Keep putting out that great music, man.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Z.
doing great. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
A
Much
lot of love
man.
for all you guys at Trampoline Jetstream. Shout out Mannion. When I see him, I'm going to smack him in the back of the head.
Chazzy.
Chaz,
Good old
baby.
Chazzy,
I love
Trent, T-Dog,
All those guys, man.
Am Noliak, T-Stone, Alex.
Shout out to all of them.
He's got a single coming out Friday. Friday, yeah.
So you got yours coming out Wednesday, and his is coming out Friday.
That's right.
You guys are busy. I
We're
love it.
busy. We're still doing shit.
Good,
And
good.
then next Monday, it's studio.
Keep shining, brother. Success and nothing less. Everybody have yourself a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.